Hello and welcome. Now in this video we are going to take a quick tour of the user interface. This will provide you with a nice overview on where to find the different features that ControllerBuddy offers. The interface is divided into four main areas. We have the menu bar here on top, then we have the tab area, which takes the most space here in the center. We have the status bar at the bottom. And last but not least, there is the tray menu, which you can access via the tray icon in the system tray. Alright, let's start by having a look at the ControllerBuddy menu bar first. The ControllerBuddy menu bar houses the file menu, which lets you create new profiles, open existing ones that you have stored on your hard drive, save them after you have made changes to a profile, and then there is the quit menu entry, which exits the application. Next, we have the device menu. This basically consists of a list of all connected controllers, and you can select the one controller you want to use for ControllerBuddy here. Right now, there is only one connected controller on this machine, and this is the X input controller. Next, this is the run menu, which gives you three options. First of all, local mode, which is what most people will use. And then there is client and server modes, which let you operate ControllerBuddy over a network. When you click the local menu entry, this basically lets ControllerBuddy become active. You see all the other input elements that let you edit the profile are locked now, and the overlay has appeared. Only in this configuration ControllerBuddy is actually operating. When you click run again, you can see stop has become available, and if we click stop, the overlay disappears and all the disabled elements become active again. Now ControllerBuddy is not reading inputs and not outputting outputs. It is back in its idle state. Then last but not least, we have the help menu, which lets you see license information, access the ControllerBuddy website, and open the about box, which gives you build and version information. Now onto the tab area. You can see the different tabs over here. We start with the modes tab, which is already active. In the modes tab, you can basically add new modes via this button. You can change the name of a mode, and you can remove a mode. Let's continue with the assignments tab. In the assignments tab, you probably spend most of your time when you are creating a new profile from scratch, because over here you are assigning actions to the different axes and buttons of your gamepad. We see in this layout there are the different elements that your gamepad has: a left stick, a D-pad, a right stick, the different face buttons, and the shoulder and trigger buttons. And now we are going to select one of these elements. We are selecting the left stick y-axis, and we see a new window opens, which is called Component Editor. In the Component Editor, we have a drop-down menu, which lets you select the mode you want to edit. We have a list of the available action types that we can add to this component. And on the right side, we see which actions are currently assigned to this component. So, for example, right now we have a relative joystick axis action that we can select, and then a new area appears to the right where we can configure this action. If we select a different mode here on top, for example, the look com mode, we see there is another relative joystick axis assigned over here. This controls the camera, and this is basically how you assign actions to the different elements of your controller. Alright, then let's continue with the Overlay tab. In the Overlay tab, you configure the on-screen overlay that appears when ControllerBuddy is actively running. You can select which of the axes of the virtual joystick device are displayed in the overlay. Right now, only the throttle axis is selected, which is the usual configuration you will use probably. You can change the color of the axis indicator in the overlay, and you can also invert the display of the axis. Then next is the Visualization tab. This is your profile shown as a detailed diagram. This view is perfect for getting an overview of which button or axis is mapped to which actions. You can switch between the different modes to get an idea on how the profile works. And then we also have the export button, which lets you save this visualization as an HTML file for later reference. Then let's continue with the Profile Settings tab. The Profile Settings tab houses settings which are stored with the profile. So right now these are two options. We have under Appearance Overlay. We can select if the overlay is shown for this profile or not. And on the left side we have Input-Output options, which houses the key repeat interval. This is a less important option that you usually just leave at the default of 30 milliseconds. Then lastly, there is the Global Settings tab. In here we find settings which are stored in the global configuration of ControllerBuddy. This means they are applied to all profiles and not just a single one. We can find Input-Output settings. I will not go into details over here. We can find settings for VJoy, where you can configure the VJoy device driver. You usually leave all these settings at the default values. And on the right side, we can control the appearance of the application, like choosing if we want to display it in light or dark mode. There is an overlay scaling option that you can use to adjust the size of the overlay depending on your resolution and DPI of your screen. And down here we can find touchpad configuration options. These apply to controllers like, for example, the Sony DualSense controller, which features a touchpad. Then on to the next area, the status bar. Down at the bottom, the status bar gives you quick info like when a profile has been saved or is loaded. And it also shows you connection status information, like right now we are disconnected from VJoy device 1 because we stopped the input and output before. If I click local and the output has started again, we can see it says connected to VJoy device 1. Let's stop again and load another profile. And we can see it says profile loaded. So over here you can basically just see what's going on right now and get the current status of ControllerBuddy. Then finally, if we click the close button of the ControllerBuddy main window, we see the main window disappears, but actually ControllerBuddy is still running in the background, and we can find it down here in the system tray. You see the ControllerBuddy system tray icon. If you click it, the tray menu opens, and via show we can reopen the main window. With open we can load a different profile, and the run menu gives you quick access to the run menu that we already covered before. So basically here you have the most important controls that you use usually when you are not editing profiles. And with the quit menu entry we can quit ControllerBuddy completely. This concludes our little tour of the ControllerBuddy interface for today. I say thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you. Bye bye.